Hey everybody, welcome back to Cast and Cask. We are going to tie the Shop-Vac today. This little guy is just a superstar performer. It's kind of got a little zebra midge to it. It's got a little bit of pheasant tail to it. It's just got a little bit of everything. And it is easy to tie. Pretty fun to tie because it doesn't get too complicated on most things and doesn't require any super fancy techniques. So I think it's a good one for us to start out with here. And I have tied, I think about 1 million of these now, it feels like, but I'm sure it's probably more like 100. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off kind of like we would a zebra midge, where we're just going to lay the body down. We're going to tie in this little copper. It's a 0.2, I think, or something like that. And then we're going to take some little pheasant tails, and I've got these trimmed off already so that they kind of line up and everything to make it a little easier and to make this video a little bit shorter and stuff. And we're just going to tie those in right towards the top here. Now the good news is that this isn't a tail, so it makes it a little easier, and you're just going to wind down to the bottom here, and then we'll wind back up to the top, or the top of the fly, front of the fly, whatever we want to call it. Give these guys a little trim if you need to. And then get those all the way back up. Make sure not to cut your thread when you're trimming anything like this up. Ask me how I know and how many tears I've shed over that. So now you can add a little super glue to the top of this if you like. I'm not going to here, but you can add a little on there to make it a little more durable. We're just going to wrap this up to the top of the bead there. This is a size 16 hook, and then I've got a little tungsten gold bead up at the top here. So then once you get up to the top here, just bring it around, get it locked in so that you don't lose your wraps. Take a couple turns, and I like to use my swivel vise here and the rotary function to be able to trim things off. And then take a couple of wraps. Now we're going to wrap our wire around. These don't need to be real tight wraps or really close wraps. With all things, use your best judgment and just kind of go with what feels right on whatever day of the week you're doing this on. So we'll take a couple of turns here, to lock this in, and then we'll bend it straight back. Take a couple more turns, and then you'll helicopter the wire off. And this is always the part that frustrates me the most, honestly, right? So we get that little guy off there, right? Now, take a couple more turns, and then, because we don't want this thing coming apart at all, throw a little half hitch on there. And if you've got this little tool, it makes it really easy. Put a little half hitch on there. That way when I take my hands off, things don't fall apart. And we're going to get some little poly yarn here. I've got white. It doesn't take much. So I'm going to trim off about 2 inches here. And then I'm only going to use like half of this. I'm just going to pull some out here, and I'm just going to take like half of it. Okay. And then we're just going to tie this in right like this, right in the middle of everything here. Come behind, come in front. We'll tie this so it pops back a little bit, make a little bit of a wall behind the bead here, get everything to lay back nice and good. Then we're gonna put our little whip finish on here. I won't try to walk you through how to do a whip finish or anything like that. If it's something you guys want to talk about, we can. So now we're going to trim this up to about a body length or so for the wing. Give that a little bit of a fluff. Trim up these stragglers, because there's always a couple that get out of the way here for me. And that's what you have. This is the Shop-Vac, and I didn't develop this fly. This has been popular for many, many years here, but this little guy is just a great producer on the local waters here in Utah, where I fish at. And then I was in Oregon a while back visiting some relatives and did a little bit of fishing on the Deschutes, and I threw this guy on there, and I landed a nice little trout off the Deschutes on one of these as well. So let me know what you think, and we'll tie some more here. Have a great day, guys.